Ramesh Kamath. In this episode, I'll tell you the story of a very inspiring lady, Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy. She has a lot of firsts to her name. She was the first woman surgeon of India. She was born in a middle-class family. Her father was a teacher and a school principal, and her mother was a Devdasi. Do you know what a Devdasi is? Devdasi is a girl, a pre-pubescent girl, about 10-12 years old, married off to a temple deity. But she is used and exploited by a patron of the temple. It can be a priest or it can be a committee member of the temple. She never has any rights. She never has a right to get married, and she doesn't have the right to even get out of that system. So Muthulakshmi was born to a mother who was a Devdasi. And when her father married her mother, he was ostracized by his family, disowned by his family. So they went away, far away from the family, and lived happily. In Tamil language, Devdasis were called Devaradiyar. They were women who were given the task of passing on the baton of the art of dance to the next generation. The grim reality was different. They were often subjected to exploitation. No one chose to be a Devdasi. The girl was initiated into the system by a ceremony which ensured her permanent status as a concubine. Muthulakshmi Reddy was born in 1886 in the princely state of Pudukottai in Tamil Nadu. Her father was Narasimha Swami Iyer. Her mother was a Devdasi. Luckily for Muthulakshmi, her father was an academician and a school principal, a sole oasis in an otherwise barren desert. So he gave the empowerment of education to his daughter, Muthulakshmi. The class in which she studied had 40 boys and 3 girls separated by a screen. Even then, the parents of the boys objected. This may sound absurd, but it was a common practice in those days. One of the teachers even resigned in protest, but her father stood by her. After attaining puberty, she was homeschooled, as was the tradition in those days. She had no funds to go to college, but the Maharaja of Pudukottai, who she requested, gave a sum of 150 rupees, which was a lot in those days, which gave her the much needed escape velocity that changed her trajectory. She became the first woman to enter the Madras Medical College. She studied and bagged several medals. When she wanted to take up obstetrics and become a surgeon, the professors were shocked. Surgery with its blood and gore was considered a man's job. Nevertheless, with characteristic persistence, she became a surgeon. However, a turning point happened soon. Her sister developed cancer and eventually died. Those days, cancer wasn't known much. Dr. Muthulakshmi took it upon herself to go to UK and train at the Royal Marsden Hospital to manage cancer patients. She had a rare combination of strong roots and powerful wings. She came back to Madras but faced painful apathy about cancer. She turned to Women's India Association, which helped fund the first cancer hospital in Madras, the Adyar Cancer Institute. One day, 3 girls came from Namakkal. They had run away from the Devdasi system and asked her, "Now what will happen to us? Where will we stay?" She realized the dire problem and set about the long journey that would culminate in their emancipation. She sheltered them, but not just them. She started the Avyai home. She met and married Sundar Reddy with the condition that they will be equals. She met Sarojini Naidu and became a nationalist. She was influenced by Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Annie Besant, who changed her viewpoint on life. Their work inspired her to devote her time and energy for the upliftment of women and children. With this, she also devoted her time to serving poor women and children. She went on to become the first woman to join the Legislative Council in British India. She was also the first woman in the world to become the Deputy President of a Legislative Council. She faced a lot of resistance, but she was persistent and really strong in her courage to fight off the resistance from chauvinistic males. The cancer hospital grew slowly but steadily. Today, it's a world-class institute giving life to many. Her statue stands there like a guardian angel of the cancer patients. On December 5th, 1947, At long last, the Madras presidency passed the bill preventing the dedication of young girls as Devdasis. After that, laurels followed. She was awarded the Padma Bhushan by the Indian government. Tamil Nadu government has named the pregnancy benefit scheme after her. There's even a road in Chennai named after her. She is a hero and a very inspiring hero we have. Hers is a story of grit triumphing over fate, and her story continues to inspire many in this country. I believe we should tell her story instead of Cinderella's story to inspire and empower young girls to do great things. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And a real bow to this amazing woman. Thank you very much.